We are live out.
We are live.
Episode
Welcome.
6, baby.
Episode 6, yeah. Premier League footy tonight. Wolves, Aston Villa. We'll get into that. We're going to be joined, hopefully a little bit later on, by Raj Minter, who's been really proactive online in terms of highlighting a lot of this kind of grooming gang and the cover-up from authorities and people in positions of care for these young people over in Oldham. So it'll be interesting to see what he's got to say. Obviously, the by-election in Gorton and Denton has just passed over us. So we'll have a chat about that. But yeah, loads to catch up on. First and foremost, the Champions League draw. If you're an Arsenal fan, you've got to be delighted with it.
For that side of the draw. If you're a Liverpool fan, like I am, not so much.
Liverpool City are obviously on the tougher side of that, but Arsenal have got a, they've got a, Bodo Glimt, who, have shown what a good side they are. But Sporting Lisbon, Leverkusen, you fancy your chances if you're a Guna getting a semi-final. At least who you meet there, obviously, is...
Saying that, they've got to go past the mighty
could be Barcelona
Bodo
Newcastle.
Glimt. The mighty Bodo.
Yeah, it won't be easy, but I'm saying, if when you look at that draw, if you could swap with anybody, all the big clubs there, if you could swap with anybody, surely you're swapping with Arsenal.
Absolutely.
Europa League draw, just having a little scout through that there. It looks like the English sides are on the other side of that draw. Obviously, Forest pulling Midtjylland, how would you call it? That's Matthew Bennon's other club. Is it Midtjylland?
Midtjylland.
And obviously FC Porto are on that side of the draw. You've got another game for Roma Bologna, which will be a tough one to call. Fucking hell, an all-Italian tie there. And then obviously Aston Villa go to Lille, which isn't an easy fixture at all.
No.
So I think they're on the other side, the wrong side of that draw there. We've also had, in America, Hillary Clinton be asked some really interesting questions, and also she's a slick operator.
She didn't like it, yeah. She didn't like it at all, did she?
Yeah, but did you hear how she answered it and the way she processed it? And then have you seen Bill Clinton's give evidence today?
He got forced to, I seen.
Yeah, but what he's come out and said and all that, it's just mad. Just like got a prepared statement, just basically said, look, there's loads of photos with me with this fella
20 years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember what's going on
with all these random women.
Yeah. Pretty much, look, I haven't done anything wrong, I haven't done anything. But didn't he actually, before, when he got it, was getting a blazer off Monica Lewinsky, didn't he say, I have no relations with this lady? I had no relations with this lady.
Serial liars,
he was like that going...
Serial liars, lad.
So, I honestly... when I think of that House of Cards, that Kevin Spacey documentary, you don't know about anyone in the chat seen it. I'm going to charge that up now and get the chat on. But it does remind me of the Clintons. I don't know why. I just got the feeling it was about them. And if you look at that, right? But people get pushed in front of trains and all that. And, in House of Cards, I'm not saying the Clintons. And then when you look at was it Wiener, Anthony Weiner, who was involved with them.
Weiner.
Who went down for some heinous child nonsense. And you also had John Podesta, who was the campaign manager, who was, and again, apologies for getting the old fucking tinfoil hat out here, but he was the Comet Pizza guy. He was the guy who was caught in the emails and had the paint on and all that. Pizzagate, yeah, Comet Pizza, yeah, he was all Podesta. And so yeah, there's some strange stuff going on in America. When you're seeing Hillary Rodham Clinton give... interviews the way she's having to give them and face the question she's having to face, even though she's controlling as much of it as she can, it still shows you that something nefarious has gone on. Whether we get to see it and the full lids lift on it, I highly doubt it now at this point, but we are getting a glimpse into the world of these kind of elites. And again, the conspiracy theorists said this is what they do, this is what they get up to. Everyone's no, they don't. Come on. It turns out they actually do.
Yeah, they genuinely do.
Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't seem real, but
she got asked about, and thought she handled it well, Clinton. But she got asked about, well, if you've never met them, or this Epstein, she kept getting his name Epstein and all that. She was calling him.
Yeah. Good one, love.
Well, why was Ghislaine Maxwell at your daughter's wedding? She went, she was as a +1. It's like, yeah, well, for who? She never said who the +1 was. And also, it's like, well, hang on a second. If you are the president of the United States of America, William Clinton, and you have one daughter and she's getting married, are you telling me Secret Service and that family don't know every single person at that wedding? in forensic detail.
Yeah.
Of course they do. So, you know she's guilty by the way she answers questions. How deep the web goes, I'm not sure. But it's a fascinating thing for me to watch off the back of, obviously, the State of the Union address where Trump has absolutely checkmated the Democrat Party with, are you America first or you stand up if you know?
Yeah, stand up if you are. I thought the American government was here to protect American citizens first.
Why didn't they just stand up?
Not illegal aliens.
Why wouldn't they just stand up?
Yeah,
Could they just call us bluff if they stand up?
I know.
And then the great thing about it was they all start losing their minds, and specifically, obviously, Ilhan Omar, who we spoke about, the senator from Minneapolis, is she? Who's Somali heritage, and he called Somali pirates again. And I must laugh because it's mad for me seeing a world leader. You've gone from kind of Barack Obama, David Cameron and all that, Tony Blair, to somebody just saying, yeah, these Somali pirates are at the bollocks and we're not having any more of it, which it is weirdly quite refreshing, even though it is a bit mad.
Yeah, it's
and
mad.
then she's sitting there with the headscarf on, starts going like this, and you're thinking, you wouldn't do that in the country that you've come from.
Yeah.
Like if you are a Muslim with the headscarf, you start giving it the old to a man, you're getting put right in your place in the hierarchy because they have a slightly different social structure. Anyway, that leads us into the Gorton and Denton by-election, which I'm pretty much sure. Let me just get the chat on. I haven't seen any of this, but
well, speaking of the chat,
what did you think about it?
a few of the lads are saying that you look cute. Oh, no, the Muzzy needs to go, Steve. The Muzzy needs to go.
Mustanger.
I forgot to do it before the coming. It's getting too much. But
don't fall to the peer pressure.
no, don't worry. I was looking at myself and I thought no.
But
a few of the lads saying you look cute in your
my pink top,
in your purple top, lad.
Just sling it on tonight. I haven't tried a leg, as you can see. Just threw it on, little golf top.
I haven't tried a leg.
I'm in bits. I'll level with you. I was up at 5 this morning for paddle, 2.5 hours of this paddle, and I'm absolutely in bits. And I walked the dog for 2.5 hours, and my legs have seen better days. I'm going to pay for this tomorrow.
Yeah, it's good to stay active, though. Good to stay active.
Well, it was. We should have won this morning, and we got cut short on the time. And
literally 5
people came in. It was like at in Cowbon and that. What did they call that thing? The Shark Tank, where like you're in there. That's what it felt like. I felt like Darren Till in the Shark Tank yesterday. This morning, sorry, because he's bringing all fresh partners in to take us on, and obviously managed to get a victory on the tiebreak, and then. We're going to have to employ a referee, I reckon, because there was some suspect calls and
on both sides
foul
of the
language.
table.
Do you know the girl said to me when I went over for a drink, she went, "You's arguing or fighting there?" And I said, "No, he just can't.
It's fucking. It was an intense match.
Played in the right spirit in the end.
Yeah, it was. There was good paddle. Good paddle being
good
played.
Standard, yeah. So it's.
But I come out with the victory.
Yeah, younger, fitter.
Younger and fitter and better.
No, not. I won't say just fitter. I had no food in me, so I've got to change my habit. Did you see?
Yeah.
On the TikToks I sent you there, Justin Rose talking about his routine for say an 8 o'clock tea time. Basically gets up like 3 hours before all the things he done, and I'm thinking. So that's why when I come skidding into their car park with like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go, and have a couple of putts, bang a couple of putts, and then get on the first tee, I'm not playing well.
Probably, yeah.
My God, he's done a full weight session, band mobility.
Yeah. You've got to do it, especially at his age, though, to compete, and he's competing at the highest level, isn't he, to be fair?
Well, it's not just that. It's obviously Tiger's set the precedent, hasn't he? Because he revolutionised the sports science and all that in the golf world. And then your Rorys and all the next breed have all taken that on. Obviously, Justin's then got to keep that pace to just stay at the table. You know, especially as the hands of Father Time catch up with Jess. So fair play to him. But I was shocked at his routine, and it's certainly, you know, I'm going to have to get a bit 10 minutes earlier or something. Make sure that sausage McMuffin's gone down, and I'm there Sunday. But yeah, back on the tees on getting the clubs back out.
I'm there
Sunday,
as well.
lad,
Yeah,
so,
I'm there. I'm looking forward to it.
Back out.
Only listen, a little hooch in it, get the season going.
Get the clubs back out, dusted off.
Be off mats like, but is what
so
it
yeah,
is.
Simbox put in here that Green Party campaign video only in Urdu. I thought it was like, I've only seen a bit of it. I thought it was weird, and certainly the imagery, if you looked at it in the background, like Steve Bannon on it, people doing Nazi salutes and all that. So it was peculiar, but obviously that's a huge part of demographic, as we've seen by the outcome in the vote. The Greens have managed to get the seat. I think Reform and the Green Party have made traction. Obviously, the Greens getting it. The Muslim vote bloc has kind of gone from Labour, it looks like, because of the situation in Israel. And obviously, some people believe Labour governments haven't done enough to stop sales of arms to Israeli companies. Obviously, the use of some of our military stuff to help in surveillance and stuff like that. So obviously, Labour not being able to come out and condemn that has been massive in terms of, you know, the Greens pinching into the electorate there. And obviously, it's a small dichotomy of what could happen across the country. I don't think it's a good sign for Nigel Farage, even though they've done a little bit better. I'm not necessarily sure it's a great sign for Nigel Farage. I'll tell you who it's an even worse sign for, Keir Starmer. Yeah. But I'll tell you who's had the biggest stinker of them all. And I actually think she's done all right since she's been in office, Kemi Badenoch. But as well as she's done, based on them numbers, she might have to be removed from the leader of that party, because it clearly says the electorate aren't going to get behind her. So I wouldn't be surprised to see in a short period of time the Labour Party change their leader, just because he goes from calamity to calamity, and obviously, you know, you've still not yet had the allegations of the Labour whip, Nick Brown, washing over, and obviously this week, you know, for me the most damning of all of Starmer's current issues is I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say this. I'm trying to word it not to get myself in trouble. But Starmer has kind of been caught, by the looks of it, prosecuting our veterans from Iraq and veterans in the British military for shits and giggles for free, pro bono. Yeah. So actually going after people who've, you know, when they join the military, you get sent away to do a job. I'm imagining you can't say, I don't really fancy that one. I'll drop me out. I'll do the other. I'll do that marching up and down up at fucking Balmoral. Sorry, I don't fancy that Afghanistan. I'll go march up and down outside fucking Buckingham Palace or something. So how they go after people, and actually Starmer trying to bury that. And I think there's a lot of information coming out about him and Lord Hamer's conduct whilst they were in the DPP, or the Director of Public Prosecutions, and obviously, you know, their forays into human rights cases, some of them being, you know, what we would class or should be classed as ISIS fucking terrorists within this country. You know, there was people who allegedly was second in command to Abu Hamza, and obviously Keir Starmer is fighting his extradition.
Didn't she bring her up? Sorry, I forgot her name. The Tory girl. Was that the one who brought
Kemi
her up?
Badenoch.
She brought her up, and I seen like a mad speech. It was pretty passionate about saying.
Well, she's right.
This is a form, yeah.
The fact that he appointed Mandelson, he's got some front still being here. The fact that he's like that's a catastrophic decision beyond all. The US ambassador to the United Kingdom, all right? The most important role that you could possibly give to somebody. So you would have to make sure there's a fine tooth comb applied to the vetting process of it. And the fact that Starmer has fucking rolled the dice on that, says you're not fit to lead. You are not in a position to lead this country because your judgment is that bad. Forget everything else you've done, the flip-flop and the U-turns, you know, the all the other stuff that goes on. That should have been the final nail in that man's coffin. The fact that he's still here, the fact that he's still drawing it out, is just going to be death by 1,000 cuts. And every single week we have another cut. That election in Manchester is another cut to Keir Starmer. It's another hemorrhaging of his energy out of politics. So the sooner he's gone, the better. It's a strange old week I don't know why.
You say that every week.
Right? We do fucking say it every week. Because I don't know whether you've seen this. Randy Andy. So I know it's hard to tell someone by the nicknames. No, Pedo Pete over there. You go, fucking hell, yeah. Oh, Pedo Pete in the childcare, yeah. Fucking hell, turns out he's a fucking pedo. Go away. Why did he call him? Thought he called him Pedo Pete because he was fucking one of the lads. He's a good fella. He was lovely. Just like kids. So Randy Andy and obviously Mandelson, the Dark Lord or whatever, have turned out exactly what the nicknames were predicting. Okay? On the other side, as the fucking cracks have appeared in the House of Windsor, the cracks have appeared. If fucking Andy Mountbatten Windsor has fucking caused cracks across the royal landscape. It forced me to take a bit of time to pay attention to Meghan and Harry, who've popped back out of the woodwork in Jordan. Don't know whether you've seen them. Conducting a kind of semi-royal tour. After she's gone the Netflix one, she has figured out, oh my God, right, I'm now no longer the most hated royal. We have a chance here to get people back on side with us because we are now contrasting. And also, just rub Kate and William's nose in a bit of dog shit because they've got to fucking deal with fucking Randy Andy fucking weird central, whatever's going on, whatever's going to shake out of that weirdness. Because I don't think he's out the woods. That fella, I think there's a few more things to come down the track, I think, to him by the looks of some of the stuff that's slowly getting leaked bit by bit. So they've done a tour of Jordan. But then I listened to, right? And if you get a chance, I mean, some of you might have read that, Harry's book. Bet it's the best fucking top of the range book, but it's called Spare, right? Which is the obviously the last one left, isn't it, in the fucking thing before you get bowled down. And Willie and all that. And I listened to somebody going on about it and reading the words from it, and I thought, oh my God, after 1,000 years of this bloodline, this Habsburg, fucking Goat Saxberg, whatever they are, fucking Germanic fucking bloodline. Are these two fucking plonkers the best we've got? Genuinely 1,000 years of breeding, empire, commonwealth, fucking pillaging. And that's sitting at the top of the fucking pile is fucking Randy Andy, Charlie Sausagejo, and fucking Will, who's got an head like a fucking lollipop stuck to a barber's floor. And fucking Harry, who's got coastal erosion. Yeah. He is trying his balls off to stop the tide coming in, but unfortunately the coastal erosion is kicking in. And are they the best at the gene pool, like genuinely? And then the scene Duke Michael of Kent and the Lord Gloucester and all that coming out the thing the other day, and I was like, have you seen them? No. They're like 92, so it's like the like 92 one is 93, and I've got the photos of them in. I'll get them in and know I can put them in. And I was going, like, they've all got suits on, but like obviously they've lost that much weight, these old fellas. Duke Michael of Kent. They were coming out of a thing the other day. I don't know whether the Rothschilds or someone were with them, but and they're all about 93. That's them, yeah.
Which picture?
Just go recent. Just go most recent. Just go most recent because they were coming out of somewhere. They'd had dinner. Oh, and yeah, that's Michael of Kent.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So they're like they're the oldest royals. They must have been meeting for a crisis, fucking tea and scones over fucking Andrew Mountbatten nonsense pottery. So they were coming out, and they've obviously got the suits on, and they're getting older. They're old men now, and I'm looking at them going, like, is that what it's about? You live that long, and then you just have, you know, they're just in this world of what are you putting on here?
Someone just sent that.
How come it's kicking in our thing then? I'll get to that, Matt Kearney. I'll come to that now. But I just want to finish off with them royals to say they're a peculiar breed. And again, do we really need them after what we've got now in terms of, like, you know, do we need them? Are they needed? Like, do we need them to say this is the standard to live to? Like, we know for a fact the Queen has paid off one of Andrew's fingers. Paid it off, that Virginia Giuffre. Yeah. Whether it was Charlie thrown in, it's come out, the Queen signed that off. So the Queen's known that's going on, and everyone going, oh, made up the Queen's not alive to see this and all that. And I go, hang on a second here. Fucking Queen was alive when fucking Jimmy Savile was fucking doing tandem bike rides around fucking Windsor Castle. Bringing people in, saying, yeah, I'll open the doors for there. I've got a kiddie out here, wants to meet fucking someone in here. Taking kids in, which he said on record. Who was in charge then, the royal family? The Queen. The Queen was in charge when Mountbatten, who's got historic connections to that Kincora boys club in Ireland. Obviously the IRA got for him in the end, but he was their mentor. So it stinks to the eye, Evans, and the fact that we're not being told about it and it's being covered up. Do we need these entitled fuckers sitting in castles that we're paying for when people can't keep the fucking lights on? They've got millions of pounds worth of land. They've got Duchy of Cornwall. They've got crown jewels and all that. Why are we paying a fucking carrot for them?
I don't fucking know anything about them.
What did they bring in tourists? Actually, do you know what?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, tourism. I'm like, do you know what? I'm not asked because there's that much they hang around with that many nonsense that just we don't want them anymore. They're actually not a good. Look at Diana. Look at the way the fucking Spurs written a book about it. Do we need them? Long to reign over us and all that. Do we need them? Because on current behaviour, when you look at Charles with Diana and you've got to swallow Queen Camilla now, they've managed that back into the equation when they've obviously lost the royal that everybody loved. Diana was favourite, and obviously the royals didn't like that. And then when you're reading this Kate and William stuff and Harry and Meghan, the fallout, it's fucking peculiar. It's like, why did you say that to me? It made me look so bad here. And it's like the most petty stuff you've ever heard in your life. William and Harry, this is. And that's why it drives me to the brink of despair to say, do we need them? Because don't forget, the First World War was started over the grumbling of that, because they were all Queen Victoria's grandsons. You had Tsar Nicholas of Russia, you had Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, and you had King Albert of England, didn't you? Or some form of fashion. And if it wasn't for the nose getting put out of place when they were kids at a dinner Queen Victoria put, where they all disliked each other intensely from it because of the fucking rivalry and the madness and the insanity of probably the inbreeding over centuries, that's where the seeds were sown for that fucking First World War. And how many working class, civilian and soldier class people died for their petty royal fucking nonsense. And I've had enough of them. So Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, unfortunately, I think has put a chip in this royal dam. And I think there's loads of noise about William and what's going on there, isn't there? They've obviously thrown in, we got the old rhythm as a dancer. Got the old rhythm as a dancer to keep everybody off them. So you can't get, people go miss, I got the old rhythm as a dancer there. Do you know what I mean? I doubt everything they say.
Mean? Rhythm as a dancer?
What's that rhyme with?
Oh.
Right. So what happens then is they, every single day, like it's a PR game with them. It's about staying in. It's about the look. It's about how everything's perceived. It's not actually about what's going on in reality. They do live in a gilded cage in many, many regards. I think we have to set them free. And if you want to be the king, well, fuck off to America, Las Vegas. Elvis is gone now. You can be the king. There's a spot over there. Fucking get yourself over there, because we're not having any more. Don't need any more. Matt Carney's put in a social cycle. Positive male age, science reasoning. Negative male age, tyranny, industrial war. Positive female age, tolerance, desire for peace. Negative female age, DEI, cancel culture. Then back to positive male. So what are you saying? Is Matt trying to say it's a bit of like
there's a cycle
going on? Yeah.
At the minute, we're in the positive male. Hang on, what are we in now? We are in the negative male age.
We're in positive male age, which is science and reasoning. But I would say we're in negative female age, which is DEI and cancel culture.
Oh, I think he means it goes in order. So right now we're at negative female age, e.g. DEI and cancel culture. So then it'll go back to positive male age of science and reasoning, which is what we're trying
I do think we're approaching it, yeah. So we're saying that is the cycle it goes round on, yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, the people in the electorate are the ones who are going to change it, aren't they? As we've seen, politicians sit up and take notice when they get voted in and out of their seat. That's the only way. They'll promise you absolutely everything they can to get your vote, and then as we've seen, they'll do in some cases the complete opposite. So we've got to live in an age where politicians are held to account. So if you get somebody to say they're going to do something for you, say, right, conquer bollocks, you said you're going to do X, Y, and Z. right? You've got 18 months to do it. You've got a 4-year contract here. You've got 18 months to hit your KPIs. If you don't hit them, we're going to call a snap by-election. You're getting kicked right in the town halls and you're out of town. You're gone. All right, that's it. Finito for you. You're not just going to eke it out and line your pockets in that second period because you know you're going to get voted out and you go, right, I need to fucking make hay while sun shines here. Because that is, unfortunately, lots of ways these politicians, they get fucked off here, right? Like, even when you look at Farage, he's been a politician in loads of places and been fucked off. MEP, gone and fucking run all his expenses up and all that. And I have no doubt about that man, that he is out for himself. And restore, reform, advance, whatever's going on there, they've got to get their shit together. I mean, I don't think I'll vote again. I spoiled my ballot at the last election because I felt they're all the same.
I know.
And nothing that has happened subsequently has made me think anything other.
That Green Party getting in today, though, or was it yesterday, just scares me a bit,
Well, they're gonna vote certain communities in a block, aren't they? That's what they've always done. So it does, in certain parts of the country, point to a kind of sectarianism and a kind of a way of behaving that isn't necessarily aligned with democracy. Now, we've got to figure out, I think our system's a bit strange anyway, the kind of first past the post system. I do think it's a bit strange anyway. Maybe it needs revising. But if we're getting rid of the fucking monarchy, then we've got a lot up for grabs. I don't think we are a democracy anyway, because if you haven't got free speech, which we haven't, because now clearly everybody has to think about what they're going to say and how they're going to say it. Yeah. Some of us less than others, because maybe not give a solitary fuck. But on the whole, people are already under the guise of a kind of authoritarian regime, because you're already thinking about what you will say, what you will, put into social media. Even to the point where some people now are worried about what they'll say in a pub for fear of, the kind of tattletale and the nonsense that they were trying to bring in there, with people getting complained, and hurt feelings who were working in a pub about somebody's opinion, which is absolutely batshit crazy. So I'll go back to this. Hannah Spencer, and credit to her, you know what I mean? She had obviously fucking mad leather webs on her fucking greyhound. That greyhound will be getting the peanut butter jar out tonight. She'll be peanut butter jar will be out tonight and gone. Ooh, she'll be dancing down there tonight. Ding 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 ding. Doing all the hairdo dancing. Ding 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 with the peanut butter. To be fair, I'm surprised she never turned up at the mosque with the old fucking greyhounds in tow, because the Muslemos,
the Valley de Mount,
the Muslemos are big fans of our canine friends, man's best friend.
Absolutely not.
So there may be. I mean, what we could also do, we could just release a plague of dogs. Could we?
Rabid wild dogs.
No, just dogs. Just dogs. They don't like dogs, do they? They're not big fans of dogs.
I don't think they should be kept as pets.
The only thing is, I reckon they'll just start getting target practice on them, don't they? That's what they do anyway. Did you not see the fella who got nicked? You can guess his skin pigmentation. He was taking dogs and rehousing them, and was just killing them in London somewhere just out. It was in the news this week. But basically, awful, he's the Hannibal Lecter of the dog world. But he was picking them up under the guise that he was rehoming them and all that, and getting the money, and they're just slotting them. And I think he got about 5 years jail or something, and they're saying, hang on a second, he's done in.
I seen in Morocco that
no, they got him for about 37 dogs or something like that, maybe the chattel, no, but they reckon he'd done hundreds.
I seen in Morocco that they're killing all the dogs, because they've obviously got a lot of street dogs there. Because the World Cup's going to be there.
Seeing that, yeah, rounding them up.
They're just killing them off in the streets. That knocks me sick.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you like dogs?
Dags.
Do you like dogs?
Couple of things. John Terry's comments. You see that? John Terry's comments this week. He's had the tactics board out again.
Lad, he's in the news so much.
But he's come out and said he's fuming. He never got the caretaker gig, which we said, didn't we?
Yeah. I seen them on TalkSport asking saying basically, why has John Terry not yet got a job in sports, without speaking about the obvious reason why.
Morning, John. Morning, John. Surely John knows why he's not getting the call up.
I know, but I think, yeah,
but Chelsea got a lot of black players.
No, I know, but
just opens up a can of worms for them that they don't need.
They're acting dumb as if they don't know what happened and asking their audience and speaking about it live on air, saying, "Oh, we don't know why John Terry can't get a why can't he get a job when there's a big fucking massive elephant in the room."
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like,
got to be
and
addressed, hasn't it?
But
I don't know why people won't address
They're
this.
acting like it didn't happen.
Yeah, but this is the thing about it. This is when what you've got to do. I mean, then again, if you're looking at the Hillary Clinton playbook, she's just fucking denying all charges forever by the looks of it. She's not admitting anything. She's letting nothing land on her. No flies. Even though fucking Ghislaine Maxwell's been pictured at her daughter's wedding, she's still not letting a fly land on her.
Let's get these
Even
on,
though Bill is fucking sitting there with the red dress on, painted on the wall, she's going, not been there.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have been there actually before he was convicted, but we haven't been there since.
Right, mate, Raj,
I was Raj in.
he's ready to go. So I'll get you in now, Raja. I'll add you in as a speaker, mate, and then
Oh my God.
let you and Joe have a chat.
What's happened there? Look. I've got it.
No.
I'm struggling.
Only 40 odd.
We've got some good stuff to talk about as well, like the end of the Winter
there's
Olympics.
There's loads.
lads, I've got so much,
We are live till now. I'm going to speak to Raja here now for about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, looking forward to getting Raj in.
Yeah, we'll get him in now. I've invited you to speak.
Don't forget, we need
Raja.
to get a footy bet on, don't we, for the both teams to score.
I'll do it now. Who do you want? Wolves.
Yeah.
Villa. Wolves, Villa.
Yeah.
Is anyone else having a bet tonight?
I've been in the coupons this week.
Yeah, you're on fire, aren't you? You're on fire.
I got 2 in last night. I've done all right in that Europa League, Conference League this season. It's been a good little read. Wolves tonight. I'm going to go both teams to score in this game. I mean, my spider centres aren't tingling for the coupon like they have been hot property this week.
Bristol, Watford.
I'm going to go both teams to score in that. And then the same Harrogate, Cheltenham, and then Lens against Strasbourg.
Score.
Parlez-vous français? Just both teams to
Could
score.
get some good odds, you know.
Yeah, so we're gonna get Raj Mia in, who's been a massive advocate for some of the controversies, should we say? How do we call them? Scandals involving, the grooming gangs. He's obviously a campaigner, an anti-grooming gang campaigner. He's been described as a dangerous man by senior Labour politicians who are now in government, because he has, in many, many ways, been like a dog with a bone here and has consistently pushed into the public lexicon this scandal and the attempt by certain people in positions to cover this up and make sure that accountability is not absolutely right across the board.
Yeah.
So we got him in, or we in?
He's on his way now.
All right.
He's just in the spaces.
It is
Right, your bet is on 190
okay.
back.
Cheers, lad. Couple of teams to score.
Take it off me, Bill.
Yeah, I'll get you in. My God, that's a bit harsh. Some of them talk about it. Might have been clickbait today. I know you spent a little bit of time out in the nonsense pottery land, but did you see the West Brom manager has gone this week? Ramsey. I know he was at Man United, but he's one of MLS guys, isn't he? And then you've obviously had Wilfred Nancy.
Wilfred nonsense pottery.
Wilfred Nancy.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, you've had a player. Did the boy Sargent leave Norwich and go back for $7.5 million to America? He wanted to leave, didn't he go back home?
Sergeant, yeah.
So they can obviously pay him massive money. But is the standard of Raj is saying he's joined?
Oh no, I'm on him here.
You got him?
I'm on your Twitter.
Oh yeah. Raja, we'll get you in now, mate. He's
Just need to request to talk, Raja. If you can hear me, you just need to request to talk in the spaces. There should be a button saying request to speak, and then I can accept you.
44 days, Eric Ramsey, 9 games and 0 wins. It begs the question, how did he get the fucking job and who fucking points them? And has he not sailed down the river with him? Huh. Do you know what I mean?
There he is.
If someone brought someone in who'd done that job, you'd have to question their judgment.
Raja, can you hear us? Can we hear you? That's the question.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, just give us a sec. Stay on the line for us, Raja. Literally 2 seconds. Yeah. Always does this.
We also had Everton this week, spending a whole week prepared, and I've been a little bit Moyes needs to move on at some point, but in the near future. Spent all week preparing, and then went, tell you what we'll do, we'll play our best centre mid at right back, our best centre half at left back, and then a young kid who's trying to figure out how to play number 10 or number 8 running on from midfield, left wing, against Man United who are flying at home. And then what we'll do is we won't have a fucking clue how we're going to score a goal. We've got no clue how we're going to score a goal. We're going to boot it up as far as we can and ask fucking Timo Barry to turbo boost after it.
Raja, you there? Sorry.
And then we're just going to load the goalkeeper and whip corners in like a Sunday team, with the greatest respect to all the Sunday teams out there. Yeah. Like, is that what we're paying for? Is that what we've got Bramley Moore for? Just to,
Raja, if you could just speak for us, mate. Should have you in now.
Evertonians, you should be going absolutely mental. While Noah, as his weekly episode of
this fucking thing.
Showing he's a fucking caveman.
I am not a caveman. Raja, if you could speak for us, you should be able to speak now.
No. Moyes' recruitment has been horrific. I can't disagree with you, Roger. I can't disagree with you. That is your name, Free Roger Tweedle. Can't be his name, though. I can't disagree with you in terms of moving him on. We've got to do it with class and dignity, because he's been a great manager, and even in the short term he's been back, he's done great. But it's just, if we want to progress, I just think we're stuck in the dark ages a little bit. Some might argue, has he got the tools at his disposal? But you've spent 80 million on Dibbling and fucking Barry. Like, it needs to be questioned. I don't see the logic of playing Jarrett Bramthwaite at left back.
Doing it the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Hello? What's going on here? Hello?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
You.
There you
Hiya,
go.
how you doing?
Right, just sorry about that, mate. How are you?
I'm well, mate. Don't worry. Old-fashioned way. All works.
God, yeah. Like we've ended up getting there in the end. I don't know what was going on. Every time we get a guest in, Noah finds a different way of not getting a connection on. So thankfully we got there in the end.
Sorry, Raja.
So Raja, is it?
No,
is
it's
it
all right, mate.
Would we say Mia? Maya? How'd you pronounce
Mia,
that?
mate. Mia, Maya. I've been called all sorts. Mia's good, mate.
So you're a bit of a thorn in the side. Why we're talking about this, we were just talking a little bit about the Gorton and Denton by-election and kind of some of the early reaction to that in terms of kind of where the vote's gone and the concerns for obviously the country on a whole as that spins out. And also the recruitment from these politicians of, certain communities and keeping covered up the grooming gangs and how far this goes into our country's social services, police, politicians. I mean, you're known as a anti-grooming gang campaigner. Can you explain to me a little bit about your job and your work and how you've and tell our viewers what you're up to now, Raja?
Yeah, absolutely. Completely accidental, Joey, if I'm honest with you. I'm from Oldham, grew up in Oldham, went off to work for the government, spent 20 years or so working in various places, mainly around counter extremism work. Came back a few years ago, look after my terminal ill mother, and raise my daughter and see my days out, if I'm honest with you. I'd had enough, I'd done enough. And one thing led to another, and an old man, he's passed now, ex-councillor Warren Bates, always mention his name, Joey, because he fought alone for such a long time and died before we got to this point. And he put in front of me a dossier of evidence, and I couldn't believe it. And it was essentially the cover-up of the rape gangs in my hometown. So whilst I was away, doing my bit for the country in the town that had raised me, children were being dragged off the streets in broad daylight, into shisha bars, dragged into cars outside school gates, kidnapped from children's homes, took away to be groomed and gang raped. And the council knew, the leader of the council, a man called Jim McMahon at the time, now become an MP, and they covered it up. And they covered it up in the name of community relations, essentially the block Muslim vote. And you saw that play out last night. So all of this is linked. When I first spoke out, I naively, having worked with the government and for the government, I genuinely thought there was ignorance here, and they'd jump on it and try and solve it. Completely the opposite. I spent 3 years of my life on police bail. Some context, I have an MBE, the services to the country and all of that sort of stuff. My house was repeatedly raided at the instructions of Labour Party politicians. The police fabricated evidence. The mainstream media ran smear campaign after smear campaign against me. And the CPS were complicit in presenting fabricated dossiers to the courts. Unlike Tommy Robinson, who, he's all right, he does what he does. I'm very different. My name matters to me. And I marched into courtroom after courtroom 3 years in a row, and every case against me collapsed. The court, the establishment, the state tried to put me in prison for exposing the cover-up of the grooming gangs. And what I did differently from all the others, Joe, and it's not to take credit or anything like that, because an entire town stood alongside me to get it over the line. And we made it political. We removed Labour Party politician after Labour Party politician in the council. We forced our council to write to the government to demand a public inquiry. That's what Jess Phillips rejected. That's what we exposed, and that's how it became the global issue it is. It took us, we're 7 years in now, Joey, from when we started. So that's where we are.
Raja, it's an incredible story, mate, and it's, you're shocked. I'm sitting here shocked that it takes that long for common sense and people to realise just what a huge problem this is coming down the track to us if we attempt, as it looks like they have done, to kind of whitewash it or sweep it under the carpet for community relations or voting blocks. So when we get into the reason that these things are happening, we had somebody on last week, Jag his name was, and I don't know whether you've seen Piers Morgan, Andrew Gold and Loki did an uncensored, and they were talking about the guy who came on, Jag, last week, said, oh look, this is something that has been brought in to cause issues between communities, to get us all distracted from something else that's going on. This isn't a huge problem, and we're going, hang on a second, Jag, you can't gaslight us. This is, you're involved deeply in the Oldham one, Raja. That's where you've started out. I know Rochdale on your doorstep. We've got Rotherham. You've heard horrific stories. Oxford, Telford. This looks like it's something that is right across the country. It doesn't matter whether it's north or south. And we would be fools to think this isn't also going on in, Wales and Scotland. This looks like it's something
industrial scale.
Yeah,
industrial scale gang rape of children, and I call them cartels. You guys now use the term sectarian. I think Matt Goodwin made reference to sectarianism yesterday.
Yeah, I seen him.
Yeah, and what you've got essentially is a network of men who have infiltrated the politics and the political establishment. And it's like 1930 Chicago. It's the equivalent of that. And this isn't me exaggerating. I don't come from a world where I exaggerate. There's never any need. And what you've got, like, for instance, the Rochdale, you mentioned Rochdale. The ringleader of the Rochdale grooming gang came from Oldham. He's a man called Shabir Ahmed. He actually worked for Oldham Council. He was a senior operator in the Labour Party here. The police had 9 opportunities to charge him. They let him go. Why do you think they let him go, Joey? It's because he controlled the votes. He controlled the votes, and it was in the interests of those who relied on the votes to manage this. And in the end, white working class girls, particularly those from children's homes or from from families who perhaps weren't as understanding of how to protect their children as middle class parents perhaps are, they were considered a price worth paying in exchange for power. I've said this from day one, and I'll keep saying this until we get justice at the other end. They sold children for votes. And you're now seeing the same play out in Gorton, in Denton, because the votes, and the way these votes are being bought now, is there's been a shift in power. So the old school Pakistani sort of bravery kingpins, they are now losing out in their own communities to the Islamists. And you've got the Islamists who are taking over, and they've made a pact with the Green Party. If you remember the general election last year, a number of, I call them Islamists, Pakistani sectarians, whatever, pro-Gaza, whatever terminology you want to use, I think they got 4 MPs over the line. They nearly got a few more over the line. Jess Phillips nearly lost. West Streeting nearly lost. Came within double figures of losing.
They'll both be gone as well, probably when they sit up again.
Yeah, they'll go. Yeah. And what these lads looked at and thought, okay, we came close on our own, but on our own, we're not going to get enough over the line. We now need to go and find a political party we can engage in who will also give us an ultra-liberal white vote. And you saw that play out first and foremost in Gorton and Denton last night.
Yeah, that was the petri dish, wasn't it? I mean, you know, we're all looking at it going, there's no way anybody in the Muslim community, in my opinion, respects Zach Polanski. Firstly, he's gay and he's Jewish, right? It's not even his name, is he? He's David Palmer or something like. What's his name? So Zach Polanski.
It's David, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going in somewhere where we know by the religious book that they live their lives by. The minute they get into a position, it is almost the equivalent of a real life version of the kind of Queers for Palestine stuff we've seen, where it's like you're going on, see if you can fly if you're a queer in Palestine. There's a good chance, especially when it was under Hamas control, that if you were a queer in Palestine, you wouldn't be living very long. And when you see this insanity, I don't know whether you follow Gad Sad on Twitter, Raja. He talks about suicidal empathy. These kind of middle class liberal, and I think to be fair to the Greens, they played a good hand because they've put their video in whatever language for a large part of the vote. They've also, I thought it was a bit naughty when I seen it because it brought in Trump and Farage and Steve Bannon, and it looked like a bit of a kind of Nazi salute. I thought, whoa, that's a bit fucking, that's a bit close to the edge for a political vote, and it's still an election.
Well, they need to demonstrate, and there's been a fight going on between the Labour Party and the Islamists, and the Greens are, sided with the Islamists. There's been a fight going on over who can protect the Muslims more. So if you look at the Islamophobia law that Labour have been trying to bring in, the reason why they've been trying to bring that in is to try and secure the Muslim vote, because they know they're dependent on the Muslim vote in at least 100 constituencies across the country, So what these guys have looked at and thought, no, we're going to pick on the Gaza thing. There's dissatisfaction amongst the entire Muslim community in these places like Longsight, Levenshulme, Manchester well enough. Longsight, is what it is. And the old guard, the Afzal Khans, thought they could use the patronage system that they'd long established to secure the Muslim vote, and they've lost. And what you've actually now seen is far more worrying than people realise, because the old guard were, basically willing to do deals to deliver the Muslim vote, but it was nothing other than for, favours. And, the worst was, of course, the grooming gang cover-up. But in the main, it's like, you'll fund my mosque or you'll give me a grant for my community centre. That was the sort of exchange that took place. Now what you've got is Islamists who are openly, celebrating. You look at the 5 pillars, guys. You've got these guys who are openly celebrating the power of the Muslim vote and what it's going to do, and it will cause damage, and it'll take us to a place where I think in the places where the Muslim vote has supported the Labour Party historically, Labour Party's gone. It's gone there.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you, and that's the thing. Looking at it from you also come at it from that counter extremism background, where you're going, hang on a second here. There's lots of other countries. Some people point to Lebanon, who had a kind of Christian majority, and obviously the way the Muslim bloc vote and the Islam vote worked there, it overthrew that democracy at the time. So we've got to be really.
They're a means to an end. The partnership with the Greens is a means to an end. Yeah. There's no way that the lads at the mosques who campaigned for the Green candidate, there's not a chance in hell they support legalizing drugs. They're not, supporting trans and their kids becoming educated on trans, prostitution for women. There's not a chance in hell they support any of those policies.
Well,
They're
she
simply a
had
means to
3
an end.
dogs, didn't she? So I thought, she's
Yeah.
fucking... They
The
don't fucking
greyhounds,
like
yeah.
dogs, yeah. Them, do you know what I mean? On the whole, not saying all. There was also another weird thing, and there's a couple of things I want to ask you, Raji. There was a couple of things that play out for me, and I know a lot of people online pointed to this. There's a strange thing happening at the minute. Every time there's kind of something going on with the grooming gangs, or it's in the public domain, this Bonnie Blue, this degenerate porn OnlyFans lady who sleeps with 1,000 men in one sitting or whatever. She's like kind of blonde hair, blue eyed. She gets rolled out, this kind of demonic kind of figure of. She's almost like a feminist, because she takes absolute authority for the body, but also she's got this kind of soullessness to her. So every single time something's happened with the grooming gangs, it's coincided with, she's come out this week saying she's pregnant or something, which fucking, there could be a line around the whole of Europe to figure out who it is. But since October 2024, we had the local inquiries in Oldham and Rochdale. All of a sudden, she's got visa cancellations in Fiji and Australia. January, Musk is feeding into Starmer saying, how dare you on X, as, how have you let this happen? This is a disgrace. She comes out and has another stunt. You've got multiple examples. I won't bore you with the detail, all the way up to February 2023, that every single time, and I think it's a psychological operation. I don't know who's behind it to go, yeah, white slags, even the posh ones, white slags.
Joe, this is really straightforward. There's a correlation. The correlation is to demonstrate to people that the working class girls or even the posh, it's that, they're promiscuous, they deserve this, these are lifestyle choices. It's the reinforcement of that narrative. And that narrative is something that has been consistent throughout, from the offset, even up to now, is that these were decisions that they actively made. And for me, it's really straightforward. Some of these children were 10, 11.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Come on, 10, 11, yeah?
I mean, I seen Starmer have to face questions this week, in Prime Minister's questions, from across the dispatch box by Kemi Badenoch, saying they currently have somebody as an MP for Labour who's on a mad assault charge, and he's been pictured with people who are the local crack and heroin dealers, and obviously this is somebody who's linked into the kind of grooming gangs. It's just like, what the fuck?
This is a
How is this
Pakistani, it was the Robbie Moore, the Conservative MP for Keighley. But he's a decent MP. In fact, I'm not a Conservative, but Robbie's a decent MP. Spoke out consistently on the grooming gangs on these issues. And there's a guy in Keighley who was a former, criminal, drug dealer, all sorts of stuff. And they finally suspended him. But what you've got to understand is they knew all along that in my hometown, the leader of the council openly hangs off the arm of a guy called Irish Jimmy, who was the getaway driver for the cop killer Dale Cregan. All of these are
the guy with the one eye.
Killed a couple. And one of the girls he killed, one of the police officers he killed, was from Oldham. So this is the leader of the council, openly hangs off his arm. They are in bed. The Labour Party are now reliant more than they've ever been on that element of the Pakistani community, because the Islamists are taking over. There's a civil war in those very communities between one faction and another, and the Islamists are winning. The old Labour Party guard, the criminal sort of affiliated guard, is losing, and the Labour Party, Keir Starmer looked shocked when he responded to Robbie Moore. He shouldn't be shocked. He knows all about it. They all know all about the deals that they've done in the Asian communities, particularly the Pakistani communities, where they've essentially said to these people, you can have some of the councillor positions, you can have the grants, you can have the money, now you can have some of the councillor positions, as long as you deliver the block vote for the white MPs that we put over. Well, what do you think was going to happen, Joey, over time? They can cut out the middleman, they can put their own people forward, and the Greens are going to find that out in the same way. So this Hannah Spencer who's got in, she's only a means to an end for them.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. So, Raj, without being all doom and gloom, is there any way out of this? Do you see a day of reckoning fiercely for all these people who've been involved in the grooming gangs, because they need to be held accountable and obviously removed from office if they've turned a blind eye to kids being rape for votes, because that's just fucking a dereliction of duty or humanity, whichever way you want to look at that. Do you see a way out of this for us in the next period?
Yeah, absolutely. There was always a plan from when we started this. The national inquiry we've now forced. The national inquiry will be rigged. Let's be clear. They've appointed a former Labour Party baroness, as the chair of
Another
that
Warren
national
Commission,
inquiry.
another whitewashing, is it?
Yeah, it'd be another whitewash. But we know it's fine, because we want it to be a whitewash, because then we expose it more in the public. What they've not now got, Joey, like, we're having this conversation now, they don't control the news in the way they once did. We can have our conversations on X, we can have our conversations on YouTube. Yeah, no, they're trying, yeah, but they've not got the control in the way they once had. Now, what will happen with the national inquiry? It'll be rigged. We'll expose it'll be rigged. Rupert Lowe, I've had my ups and downs with some of what he's done, but he's, to give him his due, he had 2 weeks of testimony. And
what was your response? How did you think about that? What was your thoughts on it? I didn't follow it forensically. I've seen a bit of it. What did you think about Rupert's
He's come out with two main claims, and it's imperative he substantiates it and pushes on it. One was that children were trafficked to Pakistan. So he's claiming children were trafficked to Pakistan to be sold and kidnapped, and they're still in Pakistan. So that needs to be, validated and been pushed forward. And the other claim he came out with from the testimonies was one testimony of a child who was forced to have, beyond the horrific stuff that we've all heard of. She was forced to perform sex acts with a dog. And she apparently witnessed 3 murders. She apparently witnessed 3 murders. Now,
wasn't there the thing that she was ferried about in cop cars as well in Rupert's?
Yeah, well, that's true. There, yeah. That's true. There's in Rotherham. I've spoken to survivors in Rotherham. That happened. 100% that happened. The police officers were involved in the rape gangs. 100%.
Wow, this is something
absolutely
that
terrifying.
Yeah, it is just like wow, isn't it? I mean, I can't believe that the average man or woman on the street who've got families don't want this dealt with. This is something that we must do everything we can to make sure it never happens again, especially to the most vulnerable members of our society who haven't had the luck that some of us have had to have a solid foundation and a mum and a dad to bring them into the world, and they've had their childhoods torn away from them by these fucking predators. Now, I do know also, Raj, as we both do for context, that there's paedophiles in loads of white paedophiles, loads of, Scottish, Welsh and all that. Nobody's saying it's only these types of men. But when I read about 11 cousins with one girl, I just can't understand any other community where that would happen. Your cousin would be more likely to fucking punch your head in and phone the police on you than join in.
Mate, if it was my brother, I'd kill him before anything else. Yeah, that's what most, I think, decent people would do. Now, what's gone on there is you've got to understand, and I've said this, and I've been called out for it, but I'll keep saying it. My job is my job, and I've got 20 years before I came to this, Joey. So I'm not, I've not just rocked up and making these conclusions. The rape gangs are racially motivated. These were racially motivated crimes. They weren't paedophilia in the traditional sense, and not because they weren't raping children. They weren't paedophilia in the traditional sense because they never considered these children to be children, because culturally they were of an age that's acceptable for them to do what they did. Secondly, we used to get in trouble for saying this, but now it's there, isn't it? Baroness Casey's put it in a report about the overwhelming representation or the disproportionate representation of Pakistani men. Pakistan as a nation, historical fact, was created off the back of rape genocide. They cleared out the Hindus and the Sikhs by raping the women and the girls. And when the war with Bangladesh took place, or what became Bangladesh, the clerics legitimized the establishment of rape camps in Bangladesh, and the historians have likened it to what took place with the Japanese. And I think it was even the unofficial figures are 300,000 women and girls over a 9-month period were systematically gang raped. These are the men, and this is the culture that came to this country. And this isn't, I'm not condemning every Pakistani or anything like that, but this is the underpinning cultural conditioning. and no one has challenged it. And in our multicultural society, we don't challenge the prejudices within our minority communities in the same way we would challenge the prejudices within our white communities. We've historically, the anti-racist model has always said to young men like you, Joey, you know, you need to learn about minority groups, you need to respect people, you need to do all this. That same lesson hasn't been taught with in particular with the pack. Yeah, it's gone one way. And this is the consequence: racially motivated, religiously justified, and of course, like you've said, culturally accepted. These were white trash.
Yeah, but
all of those factors.
One of my great heroes, Christopher Hitchin, it was somebody who warned about this, and obviously he's a famous atheist. He warned about lots of things to do with religion and kind of men in the sky. But he always said about those coming saying Islamophobic, and he said the barbarians don't ever ransack and take a country or a city. It's your weak, wet liberals that open the gates for them. And this is what we're seeing in Gorton and Denton. This is what we could see in other places. And my concern, Raj, I don't know about yours, is obviously as a father of 4 children, my concern is what kind of landscape are we leaving for our kids if we don't call out and take on, absolutely. And this is why I've got you on tonight, and I hope everybody after this goes on and follows you and on Twitter and subscribes and buys him a coffee, because the work you've done is sterling to this point, and without people like yourself, true heroes, you know, the authorities would get this brushed under the carpet, because that's what they've done historically for years. When you think back to all the allegations around Edward Heath and Savile and Mountbatten and all that, you know, this has happened systemically for a long period of time. We're just lucky today there's people like you, people like Maggie Oliver, people like Tommy Robinson, people like Elon Musk who've kept this, Sammy Woodhouse, Rupert Lowe. And if I forgot anyone's name there, I do apologise. But people like you who've kept this fight in the public domain, and fair play to you. Thanks so much, Raj, for coming on, mate. And as I say, hopefully Noah's going to put your Twitter handle in.
Yeah, I'll shout it out anyway.
And we'd love to get you back on at some other point if we can, mate.
Anytime. Anytime.
We're just getting our studio all sorted and stuff, but when it's sorted, we'll get you on for the full podcast.
I'll come over.
Full podcast. Yeah.
That'd be absolutely fantastic. But you're trying to just shout out your socials, mate.
Yeah, so it's just Recusant Raja, Recusant 9, or Redwall and the Rabble is where I publish. They called us Rabble. So, and, you know, the Redwall is the Labour Party thing. So Redwall and the Rabble, and you'll find all my stuff there. And please give me a follow. I charge nothing for any of my work. Just under 8 years in, Joey, and I'm clear it'll take us another 5 to get us to where we need to. And when we will see politicians in prison. By the end of this, we will see politicians in prison.
Well, Raja, anything we can do to help raise awareness or anything, you've got my details, and I'll keep in touch with you just to see how this keeps going, because there's some momentum now, and it's important that the people in this country get information to make their decisions, because if we carry on blindly following, then we could be in a horrendous situation in a short period of time. So, Raja, thanks so much on a Friday night, mate. Do appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Speak soon.
No, thanks for reaching out, lads. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Wow. I've followed Raja for a while, actually. If you are interested in that and you want to follow him, he's as I say, right at the forefront of what's going on there, chasing people. He's getting after MPs. I mean, some big hitting MPs he's been getting after as well. So obviously with him working in that counter-extremism position before being involved, you know, these guys are living and breathing it. And when they're talking about what they're talking about, Gorton and Denton and the fucking greyhound in fucking leather shoes and Zach Polanski dicking about is quite novel. It is quite... You know, we can have a laugh at it, but also, look, we've got to be serious here. If we're building a community,
can't be any more
my
serious
job,
than
I
this.
believe, is to translate back to us what we're seeing and get people on, you know, all sides of the spectrum. You know, I'm happy to have anybody on, any politician, fucking have you, and we'll have a chat about it. And if you start rolling out all your political spiel, we'll just be cutting straight through that nonsense pottery to say, now then, what have you done on this? What have you done on that? And everyone we speak to from here on in is going after, this is going to be a point where you say, what did you do when this happened?
Yeah.
When the systematic abuse of children was going on in your country and people were ignoring it for votes, what did you do on the matter? So good luck to all them people out there, because as I say, it must be horrible looking at that every day, going through it. You know, we dip in and out of it, and we've got footy and other stuff to dip in of, but it must be, you know, harrowing to go through the testimonies of these people when you're reading some of the things that have happened. I've only read like the smallest snippet because I can't read it. Because I've
Some
got
of the
kids.
stuff even Raja was saying then, it's so hard to hear, but it needs to be heard.
But it isn't, because it will, for me, it would, like, it just infuriates you to the point where you go, wow, I don't know how we're having any civility towards people who've committed these things. Never mind trying to reintegrate them back into the community. Like, they should be gone. You know, it's bad enough with your own nonsense and your own paedophiles who are in the country. Like, I would have a relatively simple way of dealing with them. But the ones that aren't from here, they should just be...
It's like when you're saying it, people say as if you're racist and as if there's no white paedophiles or there's none of this and there's none of that. But that's not what you're saying, is that we've got them already.
Yeah, we've got to deal with them.
Why are we letting all these in more who it's part of their culture? They're not just fucked up in the head. They think it's right.
Our ones are fucked up in the head with a mental illness.
Yeah,
and we need to get rid of them or get them sorted.
Yeah.
But we're actually importing ones that aren't actually mentally ill, that believe, because of the way their culture's formulated and their man in the sky, that they've got a religious right to do it as kind of, you know, some kind of, you know, slaves or sex slaves or whatever, because of certain interpretations of stuff from fucking hundreds of thousands of years ago. Mad nonsense. The other thing I was going to say there, as you were going along, is we also have, and I only seen because Ben Habib from Advance UK, I seen him speaking about it. We also have an extradition. Our Villa not scored here 2 goals. Extradition treaty with Pakistan from 1950 odd that says any Pakistani, because what they're up to here, if they did that in Pakistan, right, they get the death penalty. So we treat them lightlier than what they would get treat back in their own country. Now we can, because if they commit crimes here, deport them back where they would face Pakistani justice. And they're saying, why don't you just fucking send them back? So we're not actually going out of our way to send them back. We could send them back. We're legally, I know the European Court of Human Rights is stepping into that gap. But why do we care about the human rights of people who've groomed and systematically abused children? Like, fuck their rights. Their rights are inconsequential. Once they decide to do what they were doing, their rights are now out the window. So we are now deporting you back to the homeland and let Pakistan deal with their version of justice based on, you know, the behaviour. And sorry to go on about, we are 8 minutes into the
it's not a watch along, to be fair. It's
not a watch along, but we're watching that in the background.
Should we get on Twitter and open it to some callers?
Yeah, come on if you want to. Yeah, the chat's lively, isn't it? So
yeah. Let's look, anyone in the chat, I'm going to open the spaces now on Joe's Twitter. Please come in and talk, because I can see you all speaking. Please come in and speak to us about whatever you want to speak about. If it wants to be about the grooming gangs, it can. Football, anything politically. So I'm going to open it up now for the last 50 minutes, and we'll get some people in chatting away.
There's loads. There's loads. As I say, I've got some stuff in here if it goes a little bit quiet, but there's loads of stuff that's gone on this week. Every fucking week, as I say, you're just rolling from news cycle to news cycle, and it's double active, isn't it? Did you see the and I seen this happen. I was listening to this happen when Jack Hughes, the ice hockey guy who won the gold medal, that scored the goal, they were on the phone in the dressing room. Kash Patel's in there, and the President Trump's onto them. And he said to them, he made a bit of a slip up. He went, you know, I'm inviting you to the State of the Union address. I'll send Air Force One to pick you up. Oh, yeah, great. He said, unfortunately, I'm going to have to invite the women. It was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek joke.
Yeah, the joke.
Anyway, the women refused to go.
Bad
so, but also, you know, they could have, you know, I kind of get it. All the wokerati don't really want them, you know, giving Trump any kudos. Yeah. But to be fair to the men's team, they went there and gave it the large loopies, didn't they? And looked like they've had an absolute scream.
Yeah.
So it was a strange one. When I heard Trump say it, I thought, the feministas aren't going to be happy with that. And as it turns out, they didn't turn up. They actually went out with Snoop Dogg and Flavor Flav, didn't they?
Did they, huh?
So they did, yeah. And then some people were saying you've actually for whatever you think of Trump and all that, obviously these two have got, I think Flavor Flav's got a few domestic violences in the background, and obviously Snoop Dogg's best mates with the. And then I see Snoop Dogg at fucking Swansea, fucking giving it the baddie biggin, coming around like that. I'm like,
sweet lad.
why is he? What the fuck's he got to do with Swansea?
God
like
knows.
these Americans
does he
just buy.
them, does he?
They're just going right. Which English club hasn't been fucking sold out yet, and I can get more money from? And talking of Americans investing in footy, Chelsea, I can't get my head around how Chelsea's books are so bad. How much money they've put in and lost and all that, and they haven't had a point deduction. And Forest and Everton have had point deductions.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about Chelsea's ownership here, like their losses, the money that was going in is absolutely mind-boggling. Yeah. And let's be honest, have they got a great team? Do you think Chelsea's a great team? Like,
no, not for how much they've spent. No, I'd say no. But even like potentially wise, no. Just I don't think they've bought well at all.
You go with like Palmer, Enzo, Saicedo, Cucurella, James were already there before Bowley and Egbal come in. So Estavio's come in and Santos, Garnacho, like
not
Liam
well
Delap.
beaters,
It's like,
no well
you know what I
beaters
mean? What
for
have they
spending that
brought
much
in?
money.
And they've got about
like
6
Chelsea
CEOs.
used to buy the best players. I know it was Abramovich era and they had the money in that, but Jesus Christ. Clay, I don't know if that's your name. I'm gonna get you in here now. It's a Blackbeard. If you just want to just unmute yourself. I think your name's Clay, but that's your Twitter name anyway. But yeah.
Can you hear us?
There you go, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you there.
Yeah.
Hello, Clay.
Yeah, lovely. Evening, lads.
How are you, mate? You okay?
I was just wondering because, not too bad actually. Obviously, we're all talking about kind of this the grooming gang scandal and everything that's going on at the minute. And obviously, in the short term, we need to deal with this problem, and that's completely fine. But the one thing I keep thinking of is that in the background of all this, and I've seen this in the town that I live in, kind of in the sort of Cambridge area, is there's lots of these businesses that are being shut down because of they've been lifted for solicitation of the exploitation of minors, whether that be sexually or whether it's to deal drugs or whatever. And I just wonder if you guys have kind of like an idea or an opinion on what we should be doing with these empty businesses that are like just being left to go desolate, and these empty spaces that are just being boarded up and covered in broken glass and whatever else. I just wondered if you guys have an opinion on that.
Are you talking about like the rise in kind of Turkish barbers and all that? Is this what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else?
Yeah, well, I mean, in more so in my area, it's kind of like you got like dessert places and kind of like the average vape shops or Turkish barbers or whatever, and then they get done for dealing drugs or like being prostitution rings. And these businesses just get left empty, and these spaces just go completely empty for ages, and you see no business coming out of them. You don't see anyone even picking up the bill to try and like buy these places. And I just wondered if you lads had an opinion on what we should be doing with this, because I'm kind of walk past one or two of them every day, and I just kind of I'm at a loss as to what to do with them, because there's not a lot of people.
The town centres have been decimated. They were already on the back foot, and then I think COVID and business rates and ranging from accounts and a combination of a number of things has forced, I think commerce online, Amazon getting bigger, all those kind of things. A lot of people now don't really want to go in and visit a shop, weirdly. And when I walk through some, Liverpool city centre is a bit different, but when I walk through some towns or drive through some towns, I see exactly the same thing, almost like a desolate, almost like you're going into Chernobyl. That's kind of been abandoned. The village, and there is still a little bit of trade and a bit of bustle there, but it is, lots of people are talking about, the fact that there is lots of shops there that could be fronts for, money laundering operations and crime in the area. You're talking about prostitution. I haven't seen any of that where kind of I am at the minute. But I would imagine it wouldn't take long to drive around and find a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
doubt.
There's loads of areas in
Yeah.
Liverpool and on the outskirts of Manchester and stuff that I pretty much would be sure that's systemic right across the country. I mean, I thought Cambridge would be a little bit isolated, being a big uni town, and
Yeah, I think because it's more of like what people would consider one of the more like richer towns, you know, like kind of that it has a bit more money invested in it because it is a uni town, or like even the towns surrounding it kind of get that kind of that money drip down, if that makes sense, from like being on the outskirts of it or whatever.
From the economy of
but
it, yeah.
you just don't see a lot of like investment from many like British businesses or anything like that. Like even all these like supermarket places are now shutting down. Like you're seeing like the collapse of Poundland and places like this, places that when I was growing up were like you'd see one on every bloody corner. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you
So
can't get anything for a pound now, can you? Since fucking Rachel Reeves has gone in, there's a pound of tax. You go in Poundland, all you can get is taxed. You say, yeah, got nothing for you, gives that pound. Send that off to the fucking treasury.
It's like you just end up with a big VAT thing at the bottom of your receipt. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's sad, but it will be, you know, the business rates and, as I say, the way this Labour government have been, you'd be mad to opening a business, forgetting about the HR concerns of hiring any staff and trying to grow your business, because you got a lot of lazy fuckers who want to work from home or don't want to fucking work at all and expect to be weighed in. And if they don't get weighed in, they make some mad complaints and get a fucking 60. You got to give them 60, 70 grand in a fucking in a lawsuit to keep them off your case. It's gone mad. I don't know whether you've seen this week. We've had Bridget Phillipson, who is the education secretary, saying we should let boys experiment and wear dresses and all that. It's like, what? 5 and 6 year, what are you on about? 5 and 6 year old kid? Like how can a sensible person, say it's like Starmer with Mandelson, these aren't going to sort the country out if they're talking about, oh, you know, a little boy, you know, we let him wear a dress to school. It's like, what are you on about? It like what social boundaries are you setting for people? These are dangerous people who don't have any business experience, don't have any life experience, and are sleepwalking us into the brink of a civil war, because we ain't far away from a terrorist attack, or, you know, the country does feel like, certainly in certain parts of it, a tinderbox waiting to go off. Mm-hmm. You know, economically, as you're saying, if affluent towns like Cambridge are suffering and the shop fronts are being affected, imagine what's happening in the towns where they're not so well off economically, because they will be, you know, and if there's nothing to look after, there's no pride in your area, then that just drives more and more of these red flags and warning signs for me. We're thinking, well, you know, people think nothing of burning them down. You know, we're not long in Liverpool out of the Toxteth riots, and you know, the people will absolutely, and we've seen riots in the summer. You know, not the summer. Sorry, we've seen, and that's why Starmer was so keen to, you know, come down as heavy as he did on anybody who was involved in that, and the courts were, because they know what the country's going through, and you know, it does feel like a revolution is going to slowly take place, because we are living in crazy times.
Yeah, Clay, thanks for your call, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
See you later.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Yeah, it's there was a mad one this week. I don't know whether you've seen this week. And I must mention it to you. I don't know how it comes up. And as I say, my job is just to translate what is fucking coming in from the fucking nonsense sphere, from Planet Nonsense out there, and try and put it into...
Are you Captain Nonsense?
I must be, yeah, at this point. I'm trying my bollocks off to keep a lid on it. But we had this week in The View, you know, the American Whoopi Goldberg does The View. It's obviously a lefty wokerati programme. And they had Pam Grier on there, who was famous for playing Jackie Brown in the Quentin Tarantino movie, Pam Grier. Anyway, by the way, she's fucking swallowed a couch. She's ate a couch.
Huh.
She's. You want to see how much telly she's put on? She has piled the beef on. She needs to lay off the hamburgers. Anyway, she's on there, turns her tears on and all that. This bad experience happened to her when she was younger, and it's Whoopi and all that. Oh, leaning, so sorry. That she's seen somebody get lynched when she was a kid and hung from the thing and all that. Then, you know that Jesse Lee, Peterson, the black fella who comes out with the flat nose, just was like, he's boss. He's actually boss. Got a dead flat nose.
What's his name?
Jesse Lee Peterson, you'll know his face. Comes out. She's been talking about she's seen someone getting hanged in where she lived. Yeah. Cracking in.
Yeah.
She's seen someone. This is Pam Greer's going on about this mad thing that happened to her when she was a kid, and she's seen someone getting hanged, and her dad pulled her away and all that. So people were obviously going on, looked at it. There's never, where she was saying it was, there's never been a lynching ever in all of time in that county.
Just make stuff like that up.
She was just making stuff up like she'd been. And I go, what? But like all the people around her are all like leaning into her, crying, and you're going, hang on a second here. And they're going, the last time there was a lynching even in the country was 75 years before she was born. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, so they're going through all the news records, and I'm going, how can people just say mad things like that and just expect no one to go, I'm going to
HMRC them.
We're going to have to check that. You know, there's an outlandish thing you've just said, so we are going to have to check
Especially in this day and age of everything is documented, and even the whole of history is being documented at this point, so you just can't get away with anything, thankfully.
I have to pull this up because it's here. I've had a few moments of blasphemy this week, but I mean blasphemy, and she has been good at it. For the nonsense potters that do cross over, Alex Ayao is her name. Ayao,
girl who can speak.
Girl who speaks about 15 languages, is doing the thing and has got bare white socks on the pitch because she'd wore high heels or whatever, and they wouldn't let her on the pitch because it was inappropriate footwear for damaging the pitch. And I'm going, yeah, you can speak loads of languages, you're great at presenting and hanging it together, but you actually don't know the root cause and the essence of football because you've turned up to a footy stadium with fucking mad stuff on your feet that wrecks footy pitches.
Lads, I'll have to show you this because I couldn't actually tell. I thought it was The Undertaker when you first...
so yeah, even Rooney and that were embarrassed on it, but I'm like, come on, like...
Show you the...
You're in our world.
Head up code.
You're in our world. And have the respect for the fucking beautiful service, for the carpets, wearing mad boots and then having to get slung off it, or you're going to have to get your manky pig's trotters out.
I'll have to show you this.
Blasphemy this week. Well, I had a good one for you today. I'm just trying to remember it now.
I've seen the state of that.
Oh. Yeah, that's not acceptable. That is
the state of that.
2026.
He's got his socks on. I didn't know she got webs on.
Yeah, she had to put their white socks, lad. She had to put white socks on because she had her heels on, and it would have wrecked the pitch. I just want to give a big shout out. I don't normally do this, but I'd seen Phil Dowd, the old referee. He refed us loads of times. Phil Dowd is obviously got a diagnosis and living with Parkinson's. So I didn't know that, Phil. So hope you stay well, mate, and hopefully it goes as well as it can for you. No. Good old ref, Phil, in terms of he'd give you a bit of shit and all that back. He's one of the old school.
I think you miss that nowadays.
Yeah, one of the old
I always think
school.
I'd love to be a ref, you know, and I just fucking... I wouldn't take no shit, me. I'd give them all back.
Well, again, talking about taking shit, and obviously we all, you know, Wesley Fofana gets sent off, so 4 or 5 tweets go out. Bad tweets, but we don't know where they come from, don't know who sends them. And next minute there's a, you know, oh, you can't, it's outrageous, and it distracts from the stupid sending off he got. And then Wesley Sneijder come out this week and said he's had between 4,000 and 5,000 death threats from Argentinians after giving his opinion about Prestiani last week.
Jesus.
So he didn't, you know, he hasn't been, no one's been saying, shut down social media, don't let anybody put their social media accounts, get rid of it. Well, there's the RGs picking on a white fella. Nobody's kicking off. You know, so all of a sudden, nameless account, say something mad to a black fella, all of a sudden everyone needs to give up the social media, we need an inquiry. It's like, no. Offence online goes right the way across the board. If you don't want offence online, don't go on a fucking social media app. Turn your fucking phones off. You know what I mean? You can't fucking close the world down just because your feelings get hurt because someone says fucking something mad to you. Can't. And the sooner we wake out of this nonsense pottery, the sooner we can get sorted our communities, because the fact that you can't call out blatant madness going on in your community to say, if you keep doing this is going to lead to all of us getting lined up and getting our heads chopped off or having to butt the floor fucking 5 times a day. And it's not happening. And luckily, with the wildlings on the wall, and they talk about the wall, they talk about the red wall of Labour. Well, we're the wall. We are the watchkeepers on the wall, keeping the wildlings out. Certainly where we are. But again, if we're not if we're not caring about our communities and we're not pushing and pressurising the MPs to deliver on what they say they're going to deliver on, then we're never going to get anywhere because it's going to be cycle after cycle of fucking lying to you and lying to you. Talking about baldy tyres, lying bar stewards, the old mosquito burger man.
What?
William of Gates, Wilbert Nonsense Potter of Gates, old fucking typerinos.
What's he done now?
He's had to come out and admit that he slept with 2 Russian prostitutes because obviously Epstein's fucking honey trapped him real nice.
He's got billions of pounds.
He's had to own that. So think of Hillary Clinton after just knocking it back. Jeff boycotted.
It must have been the highest of level.
I don't know whether you know, he's got a dose off them and he gave his bird the dose. So he was emailing Jeffrey Epstein saying, I'm going to sort this. I'm going to have to slip Melinda Gates in a food, the old dose tablets, because I've given her the dose off the Russian press. So he's not only been fucking on Epstein Island, he's been getting up brasses with no belly on.
No way.
He's a maniac.
Lad, to be fair, he must have been paying extra.
He was in a fucking dance scene not long ago, him. When Starmer first got in, Larry Fink, BlackRock and fucking Bill Gates were over there selling mosquito burgers. So the fact that he's had to own that up, the fact that he's had to go to the New York Post and admit, do you want me to send you that?
Please.
All right. The fact that he has to do that
Don't have to do
says
it
to you, I'll do it to you now. Says to you, he is an absolute degenerate who's been causing all kinds. Now, this is a fella who's bought up most of the farmland in America, so they need to get that off him. This is the fella who was saying, do you know what? Don't eat any meat. We've got these mosquito burgers here. These bug yous will be more than happy with these. And these are the fellas who were talking about depopulating, talking in the Epstein files about the COVID vaccine and the plans for the pandemic. And actually, let's be honest here, they wanted to wipe loads of us off the face of the planet. That's what that vaccine looks like it's been designed to do. To get rid of all the R ones so they don't have to pay the pensions that they've defaulted on because they fucked the financial system up. And actually just to fuck up the rest of humanity because they're going, do you know what? We've got a real penchant for eating kids or fucking drinking kids' blood or nonsense kids. And use fucking absolute fucking flying hard ointments. Use fucking normal people who don't want to do that, who just want to have a nice life and fucking do nice things. You've all got video cameras now and you're all holding those fucking weirdos to account and we don't like it. So what we're going to do is invent something to get rid of loads of us so we can go back to doing what we want to do because we're weird fucking sick, perverted men and women who like satanic, mental stuff. And they need to tell us what's gone on here. And we need to have people like Bill Gates, if he has done what he's alleged to have done. Well, we know he's up to no good because Melinda Gates has got about 12 billion of his fucking dollars in the pocket. So she's got out before, you know, the Inferno's coming. He's had to confess to her. Obviously, she's got a Sunday roast. She had a Sunday roast. So, you know, fucking Melinda's like that going, what's happened here? Going on here?
Must have sat on the wrong bog, love. Must have sat on the wrong bog.
What's going on here? And obviously Bill's like that going, can't be
hilarious,
me.
That.
Can't be me. So yeah, when you see that going on though, this is again the stuff that you're thinking, Bill Gates, surely Bill Gates can't be involved in it. Fucking there's Bill having to do an interview, cap in hand, and that's only the stuff he's been caught with.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that they've nailed him down to, that he's fucking absolutely caught in the trap of, that he cannot deny. A Russian bridge player called Mila Anatova, which sounds like he's been honeypotted. And this is where the madness of, he could be a Russian asset, Jeff O. Epstein. Is he? Fuck. No chance. Pirate Pod was put in.
It's the lads we've just had on there.
Oh, Clay, thanks for having me on. Chance to come on and talk in the future. Coming on from Cambridge there. Didn't expect to have fans in Cambridge, but
Cambridge
shows you we get all the intellectuals. The Bohemian Grove stuff.
About Cambridge?
That's where he was from.
Where did it say that?
He told us that's where he was from. Was you not listening?
Sorry, no.
Yeah, that's where he was from.
Well, he said he basically said though he's glad to have the space that he feels like he's never had one before, which is, again, we want to speak to everyone and anyone and just share the stuff that Joe sees on the daily, basically. But speaking of, we've got a lad called Shane wanting to get in here. Do you want to go over something?
Come in.
Quick?
I just want to put in, obviously, the Guardian, sorry, the Guardian's obviously woke a ratty. Done a piece this week where they spoke about Johnny Davidson, obviously the Scottish guy with Tourette's we were talking about on the Monday show. And they've put, this is in The Guardian. So these are the left wing, right? These are these liberal, babe, everyone's feelings. You've got to think about everybody, man. Let's bring all the refugees. Let's bring all the immigrants in. Look after everybody. Peace, love and harmony. Okay? They're forgiven. What could have been done? Davidson himself made the decision to leave the event. Perhaps there could have been a conversation in advance about him attending only a chosen part of the ceremony and about what the risks were. And surely no one was better informed about these risks than Davidson. The BBC should have cut it. So basically, they've dead woke and forgiven and loving and left and everything goes until it's a disabled fella that says something that you don't like and you go, oh, this is a chance for us to fucking point score. We can get our point scoring in here. And you've got no forgiveness about somebody who's clearly suffering from something he doesn't want to suffer. And why would you put a microphone in front of him?
Yeah.
So this is the same insanity, and I spoke about it going, you talk about the smites and the wrong and the ills of the past and reparations and stuff like that in America and Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. And you're actually arguing in the BAFTAs for segregation, because you're arguing for somebody with a disability, a tick that shouts out inappropriate things, to be segregated or censored because of that disability. It makes no sense, your position. Your position should have been, same as Michael B. Jordan, who I wasn't into fucking Creed or whatever, but Tony Bellew and all waxes lyrical about him, but I think he's a tosser. And the reason I think he's a tosser is he should have just come out and fucking put that to bed straight away.
So quick and easy, just...
The pair of them should have come out and said, listen,
we understand.
or said to him, fuck off, you fucking fat Scottish queer. Shouted something back to him. Made a joke of it. Do you know what I mean? There's ways of dealing with it. The way to deal with it wasn't the way they've gone about it, which was the victim fucking complex. Now, I get something mad's been shouted at them and maybe they don't know the context, but surely by now Jamie Foxx knows, surely by now Michael B. Jordan knows, and the other fella who's on the stage, who we have seen in loads of movies, been in a few movies back in the day, don't know his name, but they should have come out and said, listen, contrary to fucking new information I've found, fucking Johnny Davidson's getting a pass in my book. He's fucking one of the lads and miscommunication, and we fucking move forward. And that's the end of it. As it was, it's fucking rumbled on. And all the race baiters in this country, did you see all the likely fucking race baiters, all of them? Every single one of them who you can imagine, you could pick it out how they were going to fucking behave, and there they were kicking off. The State of the Union, and I thought this was another faux pas by the Democrats, was when, is it John Slover, the Apache fucking pilot who flew in to get Mondoro and got shot 4 times in the legs while landing the fucking Apache helicopter and disabling Venezuelan fucking defences, was on crutches in the State of the Union and stood up because he's risked what he's risked, and he's tensely, served in Afghanistan, all the most fucking, he's basically a ninja warrior, superhero, Superman in an army uniform. Like, he's the highest fucking man ever. Got the military medal. Democrats didn't get involved in it. You had Charlie Kirk's widow, there is a bit of madness in and around there. Can't make my mind up on what's going on. Weird. It's strange, but also still her husband's still being shot dead. And then you had the other side of that, which was Irina Zaretska. You remember the Ukrainian refugee who was had a life taken away by an illegal immigrant, it turns out. It was a guy who shouldn't have been in the country. He was illegal. And also, the fact that all the other black people on the bus didn't help her. Who was needlessly taken off the planet. And obviously they had the GoFundMe for certain communities for him. Her mother was in the State of the Union and, again, didn't give any sympathy towards her or give a clap to her. So you go, what kind of demons are we breeding on the left here that want to sabotage our country, as we're seeing from certain parts in our country today, and obviously in the leaders of the free world, America, where it's going on in their country. And this morning we wake up to our greatest ever Briton, Winston Churchill, the statue of him in the Capitol being graffitied and read Zionist pig or whatever they've wrote all across it. Can you get that up for me?
Just better.
Winston Churchill graffiti, it's in the news this morning.
Oh, you want to see that?
Yeah,
Actually,
because
I
I
had that
mean,
off before, to be
I'm just trying to
fair.
see what it
I've
is.
already got it
Zionists
here.
stop the genocide.
Oh, it was the one, the globalised, the infatada one was the one for me.
Well, again, this is the thing. So this is this radical left, and it's like
I'm sure you've all seen it, lads, but I'll put it up.
this
on
is
the
this
thing
is
again
somebody.
anyway.
If it wasn't for his decisions, we would be probably under Nazi control at this moment in time. I mean, this is somebody who unequivocally, in the face of what he had to deal with, kept the country together, kept it intact, and was a huge part in the Allied forces and the Allied armies being successful in the Second World War. So in our country, if we cannot defend now, whoever this person is who's done that, instantly giant catapult at Dover. That we get the new catapult out. Giant man firing catapult that we've developed along with Lockheed Martin or Raytheon or whatever one of our big fucking defense contractors is, and actually we can pull this back. And if you act the bollocks here, we can fire you all the way to Palestine. You will land in Palestine from the White Cliffs of Dover from this giant catapult. It's up to you whether you fucking survive. Hopefully you can fly.
Seen he was a Dutchman.
Or hopefully Allah comes and get you on that fucking mad horse he flew to fucking wherever he flew, Medina on, and back in the same night, whatever it says in your fucking mad book. But just get them to fuck. If you can't behave respectfully towards what's gone in this country before, and you don't respect this country, then you should be no longer allowed to be part of it. You shouldn't be allowed to stay in a country and hate it. I can't imagine going to another country and going, it's fucking shit here. It's going to fucking cause mayhem. And then them going, oh yeah, mate, yeah, so here's some more money. Stay here. Hey, by the way, you haven't got any cousins or relations abroad here. Get them over here to cause fucking murder here as well. And I tell you what, if you want to rape any of our kids as well, get stuck into them. It's fucking insanity. And there will be there was got to be a day where people wake up to the chaos and say, enough is enough. I mean, slowly but surely we are approaching that, I would imagine. And if people were given the full information about what's gone on and how they've gone about it, I'm pretty sure there'd be a revolution tomorrow. And that is the reason we don't see it. But I think in America, the fact that, you know, the Democrat Party have just dropped the ball there massively, because if you are a America First person, that you care about your country, which a lot of them, you've lived there, so there's a lot of them there, isn't it? The stars and the stripes in the garden on the flagpole and all that. You know, they are really, really patriotic. You see it when you watch the NFL or the NBA or whatever, when it's the big things. You know, the Americans love that militaristic kind of country first approach. So this is just something I think is going to move through. We're seeing, you know, in this country now, the light bulb go on for people. It'll just be interesting to see whether it goes on quick enough.
Right, we're off the spaces now. We'll just get into the chat. Someone said your headphones are on backwards.
I
don't know what that even means, though. Like, how could you even tell? How do you know mine are on the right way? How can you even tell?
It says right and left on them.
It does
usually
say right, left, it says inside the ear, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, they are. How do you know that?
But I don't know how we knew to be.
They were on the wrong way around. Yeah, we'll get into the chat.
Yeah,
I don't need it on, do I? God, they hate me ears, you know. I'm shocked we haven't had a goal so far in this Fingio game, in the Wolves Villa game. Are we getting on elsewhere?
We've got 0-0, 1-1 Bristol and Watford.
So we were in on 1.
0-0
on 1 and
Harrogate Cheltenham, and it's 1-0 Strasbourg. Yeah, any lads start firing in? Anything in the chat that you want to speak
last
about?
20. We're going to finish at 9. So last 20 we'll get in. Anything that we've missed that you want to talk about? I think I've covered quite a bit there.
My ears are sound, and I'm not a funny.
Miroslav Klose has done a bit this week. All right, the German record World Cup goal scoring striker, wasn't he? He was a poacher, wasn't he? Klose, good centre
the
forward.
ultimate poacher, you could say, yeah.
And he's put at the moment. I said to myself, "You're 20 years old, and you can't help a 60-year-old worker. They care more about whether their boots go with their socks. That's why I said stop. Must be to himself. The football I know no longer exists. Today's young players think first of cars, contracts with their sponsors, and their new boots. It's only after all these things that football comes for them. Their image is the most important thing, whereas for me, all that mattered was football in its purest form. And I do agree with Miroslav Klose. So it's not just something we're seeing in England because the abundance and finances in the Premier League. It's clearly something that the Bundesliga, and which is seen as a bit of a development league now, is feeling as well. You know, players who are all about the brand first. We've seen it at the Olympics. You know, brand, pushing political messages to try and grow their brand. And you know, for me, when I look at that, you got legends of the game coming out saying, you know, where are the kids going? What are we trying to produce here? We're trying to produce superstars or brilliant players. And I think that's why football's getting worse. It's getting shit to watch. VAR doesn't help. But also, players they don't love football. They play football because they're good at it and it allows them to have a load of money, but they don't play it because they fucking love it. It's something that is a passion for them.
Someone just asked about the Telegram. Yeah, wait there. Someone just asked about the Telegram. So to join the Telegram, it's you right?
But he went down the wrong hole.
You need to become a member of our YouTube channel. It's a $5 a month, but then you get to join the group chat of all group chats that we do this. We talk about all stuff what we've been talking about.
Stuff comes in all week, doesn't it?
On the daily, and there's a good group of lads in there. To be fair, nice. I'm not an important diss. Don't worry, lad. Don't worry. But if you want to join the Telegram, become a member of our YouTube, and then the links within the members
but it
page.
Just allows you to kind of stay with the overall kind of movement of the community in terms of what's going on. Because there's a lot of stuff shared in there.
Yeah.
Some stuff that we do talk about on the show. Obviously, there's that much happening on a daily basis. We kind of moving through stuff.
But and look, it's a $5 a month, and you get a nice members badge. Your name pops up in green, like Jamie's there.
And it does help our community.
I don't know if you were aware of this, Jamie. If you want to try this with me now, you do get 2 emotes. One is a dog fart, and one is Joe in a nice, lovely wig.
Which on there?
Yeah.
Going on here. Duffcott Red just brought me back really nice to the point I wanted to say. I knew I had a blasphemy. Did you see it this week? I only seen the clips.
Blasphemy.
And do you know what? I wasn't massive for this fella, but he's just gone up in my estimations. I am open to, I can be swayed. If you do enough work and you say the right things and you turn over a leaf like Simon Jordan. I didn't like Simon Jordan. We were mortal enemies, me and Simon. But then he starts doing some sterling work. He starts to do what I believe people in his position should do, which is hold people accountable for the nonsense pottery. And he's, I wouldn't say he's on my Christmas card list, but certainly I'm open to debating him now and having a few conversations with him, even though I might have to bring a dictionary with me because of how many fucking long words he uses.
Yeah.
I'm only a fifth kid off a council estate in Liverpool.
How much you been on fucking question time?
Well, I'd fancy me chances, but also a lot of people don't want to get into it with Simon, and we've got a bit of history. So listen, Simon, my 6 shooters are ready, mate. And keep doing what you're doing, because although I think you're an absolute Herbert and your opinion should be listened to, but caveated against the fact that you don't know fucking much about the actual game of association football. You're a businessman with blonde highlights, and Rollernex, turtlenecks. So I'll speak to you about that when I see you. But also I do sometimes think you give a good steer and a different perspective, albeit it's not as good as what you think it is. And he spoke about the blasphemy. And again, one of our regulars on the show for blasphemy, Teabag Towers. Roberto Martinez, Bobby Brown shoes, has done the overflaps. And for some bizarre reason, Teabag Towers, who, ironically, the president of Valencia came out and said, this was the worst coach, the worst manager we have ever had in our 125-year history. So he shouldn't really be in the position he is because he's a tit. And the fact that he was an half-decent right-back, the fact that every coaching assignment he's had, he's fucked the job up, from Roy Hodgson, where he's been telling fucking Roy to tell, hey, get Harry Kane putting the corners in there. That's a great idea. Fucking hell, Iceland have just fucked us there. Thanks for that, Teabag Towers. That's what we needed from you. All right, everywhere he's been, he shit the bed. Apart from when Sir Alex was there and fucking he was nuzzled up in fucking Davy Beckham's no man's land, right nuzzled up, right next to fucking Beckham's rabbit's nose. And the more Becker's rabbit's nose twitched, the fucking more Teabag Towers got his little lipstick, a little ferret. And anyway, he's put Pedro Neto. He's talking about Pedro Neto to Martinez. Bear in mind, who's, Belgium manager, Portugal manager, managing the Premier League. Not someone who's been chased out of Spain, never to be allowed back into Valencia again. And he's talked about Pedro Neto as, he's like Eden Hazard, isn't he? And Martinez just went, no. Basically, just fucking shut him down the way he should have been shut down. He should have been slapped. Martinez should have just got a big wet fish out of his finger and just said, come here now.
I haven't seen this, so...
Lad, you need to see it.
It's only 20 seconds, I'm just going to watch it.
He's a massive talent.
Look at the fucking top he's got on.
Hazard-like in his style.
What is that, top?
No, you've missed it. Go back. You've missed it.
I know where it is.
There's nothing like him.
All right. Because he's not. Eden Hazard and Pedro Neto are fucking nothing. Just
Doesn't
eggs
even
him.
give him a second.
But the thing about it is, obviously, you can see how happy Paul Scholes is to be sitting on there. Must have got that Euro millions in there, Scholes, because he fucking looks delighted there. So Scholes, he's on. Righty, Keane, and normally that mad shout from that knobhead would have gone fucking unchecked because Jill would have gone, you gotta go, and it just got fucking, because they don't take each other on. Fair play to Bobby Brown Shoes, he's just gone, no, shut up, you fucking divvy.
Can he let him finish the sentence?
To be fair, he would have got more respect from me if he just got up and walked out and said, as if I'm hanging around with you fucking dickheads, when he's just come out with that shout. Should have just been the end of the show. Because if you're saying Pedro Neto and you're comparing him to Eden Hazard, firstly, one's left-footed, one's right-footed. Right, so I don't know what comparison he's getting. Pedro Neto is a strong runner with the ball. Eden Hazard gets his body in front of you, and if he can accelerate away from you, he does. If he can't, he just buys a foul. He's the best I've ever seen at getting a foul and just using your body to the point where you don't even touch him. He's very similar to Mo Salah in terms of, and again, the strongest men in the world when they've got the ball and you want to get it. But Eden Hazard, I would put him in the Salah category of anti-gravitation device when he wants to go to the floor.
But like also incredibly strong when he wants to be.
But it was on his terms.
Yeah.
Like Salah does it with a bit more rawness to him, and he's very good at it, Salah. But Hazard did it with almost like the ball was glued to him, so he always had the ball exactly where he wanted you. As soon as you pushed him, bit the dust, free kick. And to compare him to Neto was a madness. And also, great that Martinez has gone, no, blasphemy. Teabag Towers, blasphemy. So good that people are holding him account. But it's only that it's a serious football person. Because non-serious football people, or the people they get on, who have got a hatchet job to do, like Ange Pentecostalou, or not got a clue. All he's wanting to do is go on and gripe about how badly he's been treated, and fucking, you've had Dicey on there, they're obviously going to sell, this happened here and that happened there. Whereas you've actually got a current manager on there in Bobby Brown Shoes who's just gone, shut up, you fucking dickhead. So it's good to see, but very rarely will you see, active managers doing the media because of the nonsense that, people like Teabag Towers come on, and he's our elite level pundit, this fella. He's a fucking whopper. Like, absolute whopper. Some are saying here Martinez underrated job at Everton, got them 72 points in his first season. He did also have Romelu Lukaku netting. Do you know what I mean? He had a good side there.
That could be peak Romelu Lukaku, that as well.
He was
based
brilliant
off his
at
career.
Everton. And again, he was honestly.
Yeah, he was.
I think he's as good a number 9 as I've seen in my lifetime at Everton.
At Everton,
yeah, he's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone better than him.
Yeah.
Rooney didn't play long enough, did he? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, but I'm saying in terms of Everton's number 9, I think he's as good as we've had. We had him in probably the right spell as well, didn't
perfect,
we? And that's what people are forgetting about Martinez. He did do good, and I'm not knocking the job Roberto did, but in the end it kind of soured, and lots of people said, he was overly positive, all the time, even when stuff wasn't, and ultimately, the reality gets away from them and it's soured. But looking at it now, the style of football, we're back at Moyes. Could we see a world where Bobby Brown shoes comes back for round 2? Everton, our Kendall's done it, Moyes has done it.
As that
Could
statement
Bobby
just
Brown
made,
shoes come back?
the fact he said it Neville made you want him back already.
Yeah, I like him, yeah. Listen, if he'd have hit him with a wet fish, I'll be fucking outside Bramley Moor saying, hey, get Bobby back in. Bring Bobby back. Yeah, I did. Another one.
Another
Someone
blasphemous.
just put it up here. Ryan CB. Sorry, I did see it. You've reminded me. Did you see G Nev snogging Beck and Son
Oh, yeah,
at the concert?
I seen it, yeah.
Why is he there? Why? Where's Sir David? It's his kid.
Didn't know you were that close.
Why is he there?
I know.
And it's like Uncle Nobbed, though. Your Uncle Nobbed turns up, you're going, Cruz Beckham, by the way, you know, good, bad, and indifferent. I think he's fucking shit. Some people are saying, and I hear them say, and I don't know whether they're joking. No, somebody text me, and I won't name you. He's a mate of mine who's a massive Marseille fan, and he's alleged to be a muso, loves his music. And he's texting me saying, it's not that bad, is it? And I said, are you fucking joking? Have you not heard this? He said, oh, it's not that bad.
Blasphemy.
I said, you're fucking blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
So he's coming to Newcastle Man City game with me, and we might have to revoke your visa to the UK for a blasphemous statement like that. But he's come out and he keep playing Beatles covers and that, and he's saying, I'm the new John Lennon. No. Cruz, you're not, lad. You're fucking from the Cotswolds. You've had caviar buzzies all your life. You've got nothing to do with fucking John Lennon. Strawberry Fields, lad. That's it. Go and get a punnet of strawberries and lie in the field. That's as close as you're getting to John Lennon. You fucking twip. So when I'm trying my best to fucking not be on you, but when you get Uncle Nobbed, Teabag Towers turning up, and then you're fucking saying mad stuff like that, John Lennon, fucking blasphemous.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, carry on stuff like that. Carry on letting Teabag to your gigs, and I'm telling you now, it's there's no way in the world if you're Cruz Beckham and you're trying to be cool and you're going, do you know what? I'm gonna fucking take this music world. You're going, fucking hell.
Just in case.
Fucking here.
Anyone hasn't
He's fucking
seen
in
it.
the crowd. Fucking that knobhead's in the crowd with his fucking mad shoes on, with fucking Air Force fucking ones on, all fucking souped out with all glitter on. He's fucking 52. Fucking tit. Lad, if you Cruz Beckham, even if you're like Gary Neville, right? You're 21.
Just fuck off. Yeah.
Right? He's your our fella's mate from footy, this fella.
Yeah.
Why is he hugging him and kissing him? He's a fucking absolute tit.
I've had this question a couple of times since golf season is just around the corner. What clubs are you using at the minute?
I've still got me ones I got from America, didn't I?
So he's got his piece. Oh, sorry.
I use half a set of blades, half a set of them P790s.
What have you called
it? National Custom.
National Custom. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of them before, but then he's got P790s, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6, yeah. 4,
and
5,
then
6.
you've got your blades, haven't you? Custom
2
blades.
and then blades in the back end, and then obviously my ping driver. So I'm
Ping G.
getting them out the shed
400,
for
is it?
Sunday. Hopefully the weather holds
Looking
and getting them
forward
out
to
the
a little game
shed.
of golf.
I'm looking forward to dusting them off. I'm not sure what will come out. It could be anything
Love
that
you,
comes
Dave.
out, but it'll be
Nice one,
nice to
lad.
be out there. Loads saying Yakubu was good for Everton, which is hard to. He
Well,
was
as
good.
good as
The Yak,
Lukaku.
I can't knock him, but I do think Romelu was the man for us. I think in that little spell we got for him, West Brom and us probably got the best out of Lukaku because he was never quite as prolific. I seen a funny thing this week. I laughed the fucking benches onto it. There's a girl she's quite posh on TikTok. I'll have to get a name for you in a second. Yeah, I'll get it.
Clay Pirate Pod. Is that you, Bartholomew Roberts?
Let
I
me
don't know
just
if I
get you
outed your name there.
this girl's name.
But is that you? So I can add you in the Telegram.
Fucking hanging about.
Her name's Bex. All right. So this is her.
In front of cars.
All right.
I pulled around you, then you started.
She's reading the Ronnie
reading-
Pickering
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but
yeah,
from
yeah,
a posh
yeah.
voice. Honest to God, it had me creased up. She's reading the exchange from Ronnie Pickering. I don't know what she does anymore. I just followed the Bex on TikTok, and she's reading the Ronnie Pickering audio, but obviously from a posh voice. And I was fucking, it just tickled me this afternoon.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen that exchange, and it's probably one of the greatest viral. It's probably when before memes were actually a
Unbelievable.
thing, weren't it? It was a viral clip.
Do you know who I am?
Fucking know I am.
Do you know who I am?
Now, the mad thing about this was because, and I sent it to him before, and he'd be preparing for his game tomorrow. I sent it to him before, and he's not on TikTok, so he said, I can't fucking see it. He's screen recorder, send it over, but I'm not going to do that. Louis Coyle is from Hull, isn't he? And Ronnie Pickering was from Hull. So Daddy Coyley's our fella was a bit of a mush on the fruit and veg stores and all that. And I think he'd had a bit of a few run-ins with Ronnie Pickering. So when all the Ronnie Pickering thing was doing the rounds, Coyley was saying, he's a fucking sit and all that, this Ronnie Pickering. And then, I don't know whether you've seen it afterwards, there's a famous thing of Ronnie Pickering where he does crack somebody. Have you not seen something when he's in the wheelchair?
I have
He starts getting stuck in. So clearly Ronnie Pickering has been a bit of a game as a badger back in the day in Hull. It's been a bit of a mush in terms of getting stuck in. But Coyley's our fella weren't having it. He was saying he was a sausage. He was saying he was a blade and all that. Ronnie Pickering. So I don't know. We'll have to. Anyone in the chat from Hull will have to let us know. Was Ronnie Pickering?
Did you get me a Diet Coke before, or did you get yourself?
I got myself one. Have a swig of that if you want.
No, I'm alright, lad. I've got a water here. It's fancy something fizzy, but I'm alright. Don't worry about me.
I had. So anyone in the chat, let us know. Is Ronnie Pickering a local hard case in Hull, or is he a fucking absolute herbert?
Do you know who I am?
Who I am? Fucking Ronnie Pickering. Ronnie Pickering. Johnny Pickering. Fucking. But listen to the girl saying it is funny when he's going, fucking don't care. Oh, you're dead big and you're dead hard. The only Ronnie Pickering is only beaten as a viral from the fella who kicks off in the taxi and the fella on the bike. I'll fucking punch your fucking butt. And he gets out and chases in the slip-ons and kicks the back tyre. And get the glasses on. He can't let his video.
He does a fucking front flip, doesn't he?
Loses his head.
Front roll.
But also,
so
you can see, because obviously you've got the creatures on bikes, the bike fiends, whatever you want to call them. They can annoy you from time to time. Do you know what I mean? So you can see how then people get out and end up volume back tyres. Albeit he does end up writing himself off and probably getting a bit of glass from his bins in his eye.
But he fucking... lad, he must be going at some pace because he just fucking lands on his shoulders.
I don't know what the shoes that he's got on, but he had some fucking naughty slip-on loafers where you shouldn't be doing full sprints in the loafers.
Right, last couple of minutes. What's everyone on this weekend? Joe's in some good form.
Yeah, I am. I haven't got stuck into it tonight. I've just had a little tickle tonight because I don't want to mess. I've got to go up and pick a couple of lumps up from old Billy Hill.
No better feeling, is there?
After getting one off him Wednesday, I landed a couple on the
not too bad, yeah. Need a couple of goals in this game. Aston Villa should have scored already.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Wolves.
You need a Lens goal and then 2 in, and obviously
Wolves are doing all right. They're fair,
they've won 14 out of the last 15 games I've seen before. Lons.
Do you know what? I was more worried about the Cheltenham Harrogate game because
I've got under 3.5
down the bottom.
Kind of chills out a bit.
Ronnie Pickering's son-in-law is a unit. Used to see it work with him, so maybe he is a proper hard fella. Then Johnny Pickering, Ronnie Pickering, fucking Johnny Pickering. But it's one of the first classics that
is it the Old Firm this weekend?
The Old Firm Sunday, and there's a bit of needle because Danny Rowell has done the commentary for Celtic Stuttgart during the week. Celtic went to Stuttgart, got knocked out, but won the tie. And after the game, Martin O'Neill's been asked, because he's been on the commentary, on the German commentary, and he's obviously talking about the build-up to the game and mentioned he thinks he could predict the Celtic team. And it didn't look like Martin O'Neill was best pleased with it when he asked the answer questions, almost basically saying, fucking fella's only just arrived in Glasgow, best settle him fucking self down. I'm the fucking kiddie, yeah.
Is that on Sunday, is it? Sunday, so...
Shrewsbury are cooking on gas. Pirate Pod, the Shrewsbury are having half picked up. A big shock during the week. Burton beating, was it Stockport County? Yeah.
Was that Tuesday?
In League One, I didn't see that. It's getting tight now. I think I've got a good steer on a couple of divisions. So the coupons are getting a little bit...
I'd ask you for your tips, but...
You can't mess with your frequency, can you? Do you know what I mean? I don't really want to talk about it, but...
You do you. Jamie Ash has asked this a couple of times. He's a Wigan fan. Obviously, you're in a goal against Wigan. You volley in that yellow kit.
Yeah.
Said, is it the best goal that you've ever scored from a technical standpoint?
Technically, yeah, it wasn't
first time volley.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The ball doesn't move, does it? After it just stays still. No spin on the ball.
Kind of spins up, doesn't it? It's a weird header out, and it kind of pumps up.
Yeah, but like it's spinning as you're, but then as you hit
I remember hitting it, and it doesn't
move.
Doesn't have any. Didn't you know when you hit a ball? Sometimes the ball spins.
Yeah, it had no spin.
So you kind of catch it.
Like you've caught it in the
clean,
middle, the sweetest of spots.
I've seen other people catch them sweeter though, where they like almost knuckleball a bit.
Gerrard against West Ham.
Yeah, mine didn't knuckleball where it dipped. It kind of was still. It just got it kind of straight and firm. I would probably. I scored a cracker against. I don't know whether it was Charlton on a Super Sunday. Tommy Myra was in goal, which was a bit of a thunder bastard. About a 30-yarder, 35-yarder or something, which I probably think is the best strike in terms of goal. But the Wigan volley, technically, but it ended up as a consolation. So it wasn't
Yeah, it
like
doesn't
where
mean
the
as much.
Charlton one was
Lovely
to put us
kit,
in
though.
the lead.
Lovely kit. That yellow City kit.
And it's mad to think how far Wigan have fell from that, isn't it? When you look now, fucking hell.
It is 9 o'clock.
It is 9 o'clock. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough. Hopefully, in the world of translating the chaos from the ether and from all around the Twitter sphere and all around the social media sphere back to us, we've enlightened you a little bit. Must thank again, I know he's not here, but Raj, Mia coming on there, giving us that little bit of perspective about why, you know, the Gorton and Denton by-election is actually a little bit of a kind of watershed moment for us to kind of wake up and see some of the benchmarks that could be coming down the track to us as a community, and why we've got to keep educating ourselves and spreading the word. So thank you all for joining us and some of your great content and comments. And
We'll be
I shall
back on
see you
Monday.
Monday. Who have we got
There's
Monday?
a championship game,
Birmingham Butterbeagle game.
Birmingham Butter, so we'll be watching that.
We'll see you Monday.